Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Home Sleep. We're going to be playing some Mind Freddy Pull-Ups. You might be wondering, who is this blessed gentleman you see? This handsome man sitting next to you? Well, okay, well, yeah, the one sitting next to you, sure, but not the one on screen.
Oh yeah, that's me.
That's,
7.
yeah, that's cute. I had to make one because I'm using a different switch, and for some reason, data just doesn't carry over. So,
It is really bizarre that it's not carrying over.
oh my god, that's not even on track.
No, it's not enough tracks. Star 3. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing one of every single race. That's pretty much it. And we're gonna try to put you to sleep.
Yep.
Fall asleep.
How you doing?
How am I doing?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just meant the listeners.
Oh yeah, how are you doing?
You should be falling asleep. You gotta be up early tomorrow. You can't neglect.
You know
this.
you. Oh, pick Mario Kart Stadium.
Oh my bad.
That's all good.
Oh my bad.
Yeah, you guys know you have a busy day tomorrow, right?
Yeah. School,
it's,
work.
It's Wednesday night when you're watching this, or Sunday night.
I was telling Nathan that I'm really we just had a big day and we're recording in the same room and it's been a great day, but also I'm very physically tired and I think that that's really going to lend me to just keeping the mood low for you guys.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I'm not necessarily tired, but I think I will get tired because we had some delicious lasagna, which is lots of carbs, so we will definitely start getting sleepy in a little bit.
The turning on this is atrocious.
Yes, for whatever reason, your save file just like didn't just
got
save.
completely borked. I don't know why.
It was
Like
weird, yeah.
Like I have the booster course pass, but all my data from when I played the game is just like, oh, you've never played this game before. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really strange because, like, we have like a family account. I have like 7 or 8 people. I think it's 8 actually.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, you had to like re-download the DLC. I don't know why. You know what else is really weird? Like every time I see the stage, you know what the first thing I think of is?
What's that?
When I bought the damn game in 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. It's the first stage in this game.
Well, I guess what's weird about it is the fact that like this game is so old now. It's over 10 years old, and we still have not gotten a new Mario Kart. I mean, it's just crazy how long it's taken.
And it's just as fun as the day it came out.
Yeah, it's still a great game. I mean, I really don't know like what they would do after this. Like,
I kind of feel like Nintendo doesn't either. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten a new one.
Yeah. Same with like Smash Bros. Like, what on earth is Sakurai gonna do with Smash Bros?
It's just one of those things where it's like, man, do we even want a new one? Like, I don't know how many people actually play Smash still. I'm sure people do. It's just, I don't know.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If the next Smash is just Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe and all they do is add like 10 characters, I will actually be very upset. I'll just be like, really? All you have is just new characters?
Why did I even bother buying the game twice? Honestly, that's like buying the game a third time if you got all the DLC. Because you pay for the base game, all the DLC is like the same $60, and then buying the deluxe version or the ultimate version, whatever, it's just like, cool, another $60.
Yeah. I don't think they can do that, because if it's really a Switch 2, like Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be backwards compatible with the first Switch. So,
what would you even call it anyway? I mean, it's already Ultimate.
Ultimate Deluxe. I guess. Ultimate Deluxe. I don't really know what you would call it. I'm not sure.
Water park.
It's a fun little level.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stage in this game? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
It's got to be something that's from the base game, just because like I did not play through all the booster course passes, so I'm not familiar with them. Water park's up there though. I really like this one.
No.
I don't know what the name of the stage is, but it's when it's in the clouds with the ship.
Oh, Cloud Top.
Yes, I love that stage.
Yeah, that one's like a top 5 as well. I'd probably say my favorite is in the base game. I think now Mario.
Oh, fair. That is a cool stage.
I love that stage.
Ooh.
I don't know why I picked Orange Yoshi.
I was confused by that too. I'm like, oh, okay.
I could have picked anyone else, but no, Orange Yoshi. This is who we're going with.
I guess that's a really cool color.
I mean, does anyone actually play as Orange Yoshi? Like, let's just be honest.
I mean, TJ Henry knows people.
Oh, you're right. Just TJ Henry Yoshi. Yeah. Did you see any of Manning's newest videos?
I have not.
Oh my god. So, you know, in Cool Mountain, you know that door at the bottom where the model thing is, you can't go back into it, it's where you came out of with a slide. So, they basically, it wasn't Penny specifically, but someone within, I guess Cannon's like community or whatever, figured out a way to open that door. Oh. And it's so cool. Like the idea is they basically lured on the penguin really close to the door, and after after they're like, she's like in a specific spot, Mario, he does like a backflip or something like that, and then he kind of like flips to the other side. Because the fascinating part about that door is you can actually open it from the other side.
Oh, interesting.
So all he really had to do was figure out how to clip into the house to be able to open the door.
But I'm guessing there's nothing in back.
No, it puts you back into the door.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's crazy. I don't know if it's something to do with RTM. I think it has to be task. Like it was really, really specific.
I think I did see that they got it down to like one jump or something.
What's that?
Or sorry, one A press, I think.
Oh, how many A presses?
Yeah.
I think there's like it's less than 10. It's getting very close.
I think I remember seeing something like it was down to one or two tasks on the opposite.
Yeah, I mean you can technically beat the game 70 stars around A press.
Yeah.
But 120 star, I know they still have. I keep up
That's
with that
crazy.
with those videos because I just find it so cool.
The last thing I remember, I think I remember seeing the 64 wise was the carpetless. And how they were really activating that. I'm like, that's nuts, dude.
Yeah, I mean they're doing carpetless in runs now, which is crazy. Have you seen one yet? Carpetless?
Not a full run, but I've seen
Like the strat, like
yeah.
you stand on like that windowsill
Yeah.
or whatever. It's so crazy. I don't know how people can do that.
I mean, honestly, with how optimized the world record is now, like, I imagine that you kind of have to go for it at this point.
Yeah, I mean the world record now has the carpetless.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow a couple of people in the Mario 64 speedrun community. I don't follow a lot. Stage looks so delicious.
Yeah. This is another one.
Yeah, I like sweet sweet game. This one's good. I really like the music.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, I just realized the cones are literal ice cream cones.
Yes.
How did I never notice that?
That's why he's so sweet.
That is why it's so funny as well. How did I never notice that? I just thought they were regular cones with chocolate on the bottom. Oh, that's so cool. Why didn't Tetra tell me that? Mario Kart at Las Vegas.
Because it's not a Las Vegas right there.
No. You're right. You're right. It's a moss pit.
It's a fountain.
It's a fountain pit.
Oh, come on, really. Bonk.
Hello.
Bye, Wario.
You've been like right behind me this whole time.
No, not a bullet bill, please.
Do you think the Cheep Cheeps can actually live in here? It's just like soda.
I mean, probably for a little bit. Soda's still part water.
I guess.
It wouldn't live long, I don't think.
But here they are, just stuffing the soda water. What do you think the soda tastes like?
Well,
It kind of looks like the Boing drink you have. The Boing mango drink.
This is the mango juice, dude. Oh god, mango soda would be not great.
Probably not.
Oh, come on, Mario. I mean, it's like orange, so it's like gotta be something syrupy.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. Why? I was in second. Why? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the Nintendo Switch
Dude,
system.
you know what I just realized? I really hope someone leaves a comment saying it sounds like they're trying to keep it down and their mom will hear them.
Oh my god, what was it? I was going through okay, so something I've been doing on my channel somewhat recently is watching my old stuff.
Oh, the streams. Yeah.
And
I've seen
so
those.
oh no. And so like I'm listening to stuff from like 10 years ago and I legitimately sound like that. Where it's just
Yeah.
like I'll be saying something super mad and I'm just like, I can tell that I'm holding back. Like whatever this, like, I don't care what the situation was, I can tell that I was trying to not be super, super loud.
Yeah. Oh, I did that a lot too when I lived in my parents'
Yeah.
house still making videos. There was one time, I'm sure, well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, I'm sure some people remember, they could hear like crickets in a recording from like 15 years
Really?
ago. Because it was actually the very first top 10 I ever put on the channel. Top 15 hardest Mario 64 stars. Video's absolutely awful. But the worst part of the video is that I was recording my audio outside because I didn't want my parents to listen to me like narrating.
Dude, that is dedication right there.
Like I was.
It's the beauty of creating, the moment when it all clicks. B&H is here to make sure you have the right parts and partner for the task at hand. B&H, where creativity clicks.
Like I was outside. I still remember it. I was outside. It was nighttime. There was crickets. I'm like, oh boy, I hope the crickets don't pick up in the mic.
Not the lag. No, that's a very interesting topic that I feel like I kind of wanted to bring it up in like a Minus World thing, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like given how many of us there are, we couldn't really go in depth with it, and like sometimes I feel like we do sanitize a little bit too much.
What do you mean? For like talking about our
Yeah, for like a cast or something, just talking about like, oh man, what was like the most embarrassing thing you did like when you were a kid making a video, you know? And I think it's a little different just because you and I have been doing it as long as we have been. So I feel like maybe our experiences are a little different than everyone else's.
Yeah, I don't think. I feel like. I think who else in Minus World has made videos as long as we have? So I've been doing this since 2004.
Oh God, stop, Bowser! Why? Since 2004, you said?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I was like, I think 10 years old or something, and then I was using a freaking webcam.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube. I was doing this before YouTube.
That's crazy. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It wasn't that early for me because it must have been like 2007 or something was when I like started to kind of
That's
learn
still
how to
super
do it.
early. Yeah.
And the reason I know that is because like 2008 was when like, I had my account.
Yeah. I think maybe Tetris account is close to that.
Is
Yeah. Swanky's not that old.
No.
Like, all or something.
like he's a videographer, but I don't know that he's been doing it since he was like young.
I don't think so. I think he was doing other things before doing YouTube. But I know, remember, because he always talked about how he wanted to do it, and he just like eventually just gave it his all.
Right.
Yeah, and so like I guess like going back to embarrassing things. People are gonna hate me when I say this, but I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like every Howlin' the Bang Rage episode was like super cringy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess
It's crazy. People still ask me for the back. Like, are you kidding me?
so. I guess that's more what my point was trying to be, was that like stuff that we kind of find embarrassing now. That
I
like
think that entire series is super embarrassing. Because like, yeah, I think the concept of it is still really, there's something that's novel about the idea of kind of like combining a let's play and like game show.
I think that what makes it weird on game shows is that it is scripted, so it's just like there's not really. Well, okay. It wasn't scripted in of itself, because like your reactions were genuine, right?
Yeah, well, they were greatly over exaggerated, but when I was actually getting mad at something, then yeah, I would actually get mad.
And then like whoever was narrating that part was scripted, so it's just like we kind of knew, so it's kind of like we get points or anything for it. But I guess the audience would. But yeah, they had to guess like what you were about to do.
Well, like, here's the thing, like, I guess when it comes to like, I guess my philosophy on when I'm making videos, when I put out something, would I be embarrassed to show my parents or not? And if I'm not embarrassed, then it's probably going to age very well.
Right.
How I'm Bang of Rage, I don't know, I don't want them to watch that.
That's the thing is that like I feel like that's a very good philosophy to have, and I think a lot of people have adopted it. Like,
Yeah, it's not like I hear what they think.
well, no. I know, but like I think a lot of people are just like I'm gonna say whatever, and my parents are gonna watch it. I don't care, but you and I are more like, man,
I'm thinking about like, the future, because like,
right.
There are people in our lives where it does matter what we say.
Right, of
So
course,
we should be
yes.
careful what we say.
Absolutely. And so like that's another part of like watching my old Everything Marvelous back, where I'm just like, man, I really threw around the B word a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not like excessively, but more than maybe I should have, and more than I do now. And I'm just like, that's.
I don't even remember not okay. Because I watched a lot of the old ones. I remember like the first, I don't know which one I watched yours. No, I do. So I learned something about YouTube recently. You can actually go back and see every comment you've ever made.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to show you. So it was super cool. So like one day I was like going through them, and I got all the way to like 2015.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I found the very first comment I ever left on your channel.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
It was so cool. It was I think it was Smash Bros. Brawl.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the comment was like, "Oh wow, this is so cool." So you know, I had been watching everything longer at the time when they were a lot more popular
Right.
in the mid 2010s. And I was seeing like, oh, there's a video game one. This is a really cool
That's
idea.
interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I don't really remember much about the video just because it was so long
Yeah.
ago.
And so that's one that like that one took off, and I was filming most of the video for years.
Yeah.
And like looking back on it, it's one of those instances where like I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Like, because and I feel bad saying that because it was the person that did the collab on one of those two. And so I feel kind of bad saying that I'm not super proud of it. But at the same time, it's just like, man, a lot of these jokes are just not jokes I would make today. And it's not even because they're in poor taste. It's just like, man, my sense of humor has evolved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like that's another thing. It's like, you know, if people want to go back to the rage videos, like first I'm not the same person.
Right.
Just not. And like second, like you really want to just do the same thing. So much. It's like, I don't know, you have to think about the fact that like we're also people, and
Yeah.
you know, I want to do different things in my life. And I think just constantly making the same kind of videos would be, you know, it would be draining. Like I remember, that's also why I kind of stopped creating videos. And really just, it's like I made enough of them, you know. I don't really want to do anymore. But so, and I know you understand that too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been wrong with
Yeah.
you a super long time.
And it's funny because like I had this sort of skit at the end of well, to call it a skit it feels minimizing, but like these segments that I've been doing at the end of my videos now.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I've seen some.
and there's one where like I'm saying, you know, man, I announced my departure from this way too soon because there's still so many of them that I want to make. And it's true, but at the same time I think the cool thing is having that cutoff point where I'm just like, okay, I know that after this, I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Like because I could do it forever. I could do it for like every game that I could possibly play. But at the same time, it's just like, what is the advantage to that? And I think that the reason for it is, again, my sense of comedy has evolved, and so like I think that a lot of them are a lot funnier now. And the way that I do things is a lot more efficient. It's a lot more professional, in my opinion. But like, I look back on it, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But every so often, there's still like, I'll play something, and I'm like, man, I could make this joke and be so funny for everything wrong with video. But it's like, I don't know. You just kind of have to let it go sometimes.
Yeah, I'm definitely like that sometimes with the creative videos as well. It's like, man, I could just do like a quick video on this.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like the thing is, once you've been doing it for so long, your standards get a lot higher.
Right, of course.
So not even just that, but like, you know, the environment has changed so much
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube. Like YouTube doesn't really reward short videos anymore. I can't just, you know, make a 5-minute video and then it gets 1 million views
Right.
like it used to do. It just doesn't happen. So people also, you know, they move on to other people.
Yeah,
They
of
watch other
course.
channels.
I think
So-
God, we're gonna sound like, or I don't know. Honestly, this is very fun. I like just
We're just
talking about it.
chatting,
It's
yeah.
just really fun because there's not many forums, I guess, like aside from Minus Cast stuff, where we get to talk about things that are maybe a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's not like I don't think of this as complaining. I just think of it as like, man,
I
I'm
don't think we're complaining. I think we're really just talking about
just expressing ourselves. But
Yeah.
I think that is very true in that like sometimes people just move on and watch other creators.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, because here's the thing, like, can you think of anyone you still watch?
Right,
Like
exactly.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
For me, nobody. I don't really watch anyone that I watch.
No,
like
it's so
20
true.
times.
And like there's so many times where like I kind of want to go back to my subscription box and just like get rid of all the subscriptions, just because it's
Yeah.
like dude, I'm still subscribed to you, but like I don't watch, like I haven't watched any of your videos, like you said, in 10 years. So like
Exactly,
why
yeah.
what am I doing? And like when it comes to us as creators, it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but at the same time, it's just like that's just how it works.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands with a hotel for any traveler you want to be. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Inflation fears started in 2021, but Senator Casey ignored the warnings and sided with Washington liberals, voting for trillions in reckless spending that made inflation worse. Now, Pennsylvania's been hit the hardest by higher prices. With Casey's reckless spending, groceries are up 25%, rents up 21%, and electricity's up 29%. Senator Casey helped create this mess. Tell Senator Casey to fix his inflation disaster and support the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act.
I think at that point, once you've been doing it long enough, you start to realize, like, okay, you know, people will probably stick around if I'm lucky for like 5 to 6 years. If you have a really dedicated audience, they'll never leave. You know, if you have like Scott the Wise or
Right.
Moist Critical, people like that. But for most people, they like someone, they'll watch them for a few years,
Yeah.
and then that's it. So then you have to realize, like, okay, well, who do you want to go after?
Well, and also like I think YouTube as a career path or just like as a profession or what have you it's always rewarding growth, and so I think that a lot of the times when we don't see growth, we're like, oh man, I'm failing, when that's not necessarily true. You know, like you're
Yes, definitely. Because, like, I mean, I've definitely felt like that the past couple of years, but
Right.
it's, like, so not true.
yeah
Like, I can't tell you how many times I get, like, recognized now. It's really
Right.
weird. It happens, and that didn't happen a few years ago. Like, literally, I will be 5 minutes from where I live, and then someone knows who I am. I'm like, oh gosh, you know I live kind of near this area.
that's not okay.
But no, everyone's very nice.
Yeah.
But it is. I guess like you said, like yeah. I mean, when you've been doing it long enough, like it's crazy because pretty much everyone I talk to that knows who I'm like, oh yeah, I used to watch you. They
Right.
always say that. I used to watch you when I was a kid. I'm like, holy crap, that's super weird.
Dude, I've been getting so many of those comments over this past year. And
Yeah, it's like more and more common.
I'm really glad that I don't know if it's just a part of being YouTube for this long or just part of growing up, I don't know. But like, I think that in my youth, or like when I was younger, I would have been offended by that, or I would have been like, oh god, I'm gonna go. Now I just joke about it, but like honestly, it is kind of flattering. It was just like, oh man, cool. I was
Well,
one of
the fact that
someone
they
lovely.
like, yeah, the fact that like someone actually remembered you.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly kind of amazing because like all we're doing is we're sitting in our rooms making silly
Right.
video game videos. That's it.
And I mean, like, sure, you don't watch me now, but I had some.
That's
and,
fine.
and like in a way, I think that kind of goes back to what we were just talking about, how like we did not that we regret it necessarily, but like, oh man, we sort of cringe at it. And so like when people say that, like, oh yeah, I used to watch your stuff, I'm like, oh god, no, not the old stuff. I wish you would watch the new stuff. It's so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, everyone has their taste. Like,
True. Yeah.
you know, people. I definitely used to have a more like edgy audience,
Right.
just because of like the types of things I made with How Will They Make Rage and things like that. Audience was a lot more edgy. Now it's just not the case because that's just not who I am. I'm not a teenager anymore.
Right.
I'm not a young adult. Like I'm almost a middle-aged man. I'm getting close to that point. So, yeah, obviously I'm not going to be the same person.
Right, of course. And honestly, I think that we're at a spot where our audiences are a lot more wholesome now. I think for both of us, which is really
Yes.
nice considering the kind of content that we both made
Yeah.
and used to make.
Because people used to get really upset with me when I was like changing one thing about the channel.
Oh,
But
yeah.
nowadays it's like, oh hey guys, I'm not gonna be able to upload for a week or two.
that's totally
Everyone is like, no, it's totally cool. I'm like, yeah, see, this is so much better. Like, why would I want to I would want to garner like a negative audience
Like somebody has, dude, it's God, and not to make this about Sonic. The other day, they have they do their Sonic official thing, which is just like the social media managers do a live stream and they announce or talk about things that are about to release or have already released, stuff like that. And I'm just looking at the chat and I'm just like, oh man, you guys are so young and just, I'm gonna sound like a boomer, but you guys do not listen. Like they're very clearly not answering the questions. You have asked the question like 1,000 times in chat already, so there's no way that you haven't seen it. And also, like, just using the logic, right? It's like, why would, there were so many people asking for like the third Sonic movie trailer, and it's just like, dude, these people are social media managers. They don't work at Paramount. Like, why would they have any say on it?
Yeah,
The
they
trailer
don't.
comes out.
Oh, okay. So this is not necessarily, it's kind of related, but
Yeah.
you know about Puro, right? The guy that like leaks the
Yes.
things. So it was just discovered, I think, pretty recently. However, it's exactly not recently, but basically, he was getting all this information from a Nintendo of Japan employee.
No way.
Yeah, and that employee had access to YouTube's background. And I was like, oh my god. So he wasn't getting into it, but someone in Japan was. Like, holy crap.
Because I knew that second part. I knew that someone was using the YouTube backing, but I think Pioro said something about like, oh,
Yeah, he
that's
said
not
that
true.
he wasn't, I mean, he was paying for it.
Oh,
He
oh,
wasn't.
he wasn't using it, so technically I guess it wasn't
Someone else was.
Someone else
Yeah.
was. And that honestly makes a lot more sense when, you know, there are certain things that, because not necessarily that he gets them wrong, but that they're not properly explained. It's because all he has is like a title or like a visual. So it's just like, okay, that makes
Yeah.
a lot more sense then.
I kind of see, okay, things like that makes me so intrigued how that even begins. Like,
Yeah.
how did Puro get in contact with this guy,
Right.
one, and two, why is he giving them information?
Yeah,
Like,
it's so risky.
I don't know. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie, because he was so accurate for so long. He was actually kind of wrong about a few things in the most recent direct.
Right.
But what I honestly kind of believed was that Fiora was hired by Nintendo to pretend to be a leaker, so that way people would stop trying to do fake leaks all the time. I'm like, that's actually brilliant.
Yeah,
if
that
that's
is
what they
really
did.
smart.
But
Dude,
I don't think that's true.
Okay, speaking of leakers, I don't know if you saw this too, but there's another leaker, almost from like of the same size, I guess you could
So
say.
Midori?
Yeah, you
I
heard
did
about
hear,
that?
I did. That was pretty unfortunate.
That was wild
Yeah.
to me to read through. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I watched a video about it because I didn't want to read all the stuff on
Sure.
Twitter, and I was like, oh my god, that's just.
Because I saw it in the trailer. Oh, what did Midori say now? And I just see like I'm piecing together from tweets and oh,
Yeah.
that's
a
not
problem.
great. Yeah.
No, it's a big problem.
What a time though. Like, who thought that 2024 would be like, man, we're getting really accurate leaks. You know, 10 years ago, we were getting the Grinch leaks.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if Puro's still gonna be doing it now that he's kind of been discovered.
Sure.
Like how he's getting his information. I have a feeling since we know about that, I feel like Nintendo's gonna find that employee.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna find him, and he will.
They're coming for you.
Maybe he's gonna go to jail or something. I don't know. Something's gonna happen to him. But yeah, it is very interesting because like we could just literally rely on this one guy. Like, oh
Right.
yeah, he predicted like F-Zero 99. He predicted Mario Bros. Wonder. It was a bunch of different games. I don't remember
Yeah.
what else, but he was like predicting like half the directs. I was like, this is sick, but also I'm really tired of getting like spoiled.
Right.
Because, oh, dude, the F-Zero 99 thing would have been so sick if I
To
wasn't
just
spoiled.
to see it live. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. Because there are certain things that, for example, again, to use a Sonic example, I don't even know who the heck leaked this, but someone showed off the skins that you're gonna get for Shadow Generations and like all the screenshots
that was
from
like
the trailer
the day
stuff.
before,
That was the
right?
day before.
Yeah, I
and it's
saw
just
that.
like the exact same thing you just said. Like, this is really cool, but also I kind of want this to be fake.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I just kind of know about this now.
Yeah, it ruins the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just so rampant online. They really just want to know this stuff.
Yeah, which is fine, and
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that it's maybe different for us as creators because like we do record this stuff for content, right?
Yeah.
And you know, for other people, it's like, oh well, we knew about this, but I think that even that's the problem, right? It's like, okay, you already knew this, so why even have a direct?
Yeah,
if we're getting leaked.
I'd much rather be surprised. I mean, I think it, like, again, it is incredibly cool that we just know someone
Right.
like Fiora, where he just like gets the leaks actually right. Like that's fascinating to me as someone that's been, you know, involved with video games for most of their life. But I would also be fine if he just stopped because I really like
The surprise.
That was what was really great about the June 2024 direct. Was
Yeah,
like,
we didn't know
nothing
anything.
got spoiled.
Mark your calendars this summer because FanDuel has something for everyone every day.
Mario and Luigi game, the 2D Zelda. There was like a couple of third-party games
Yeah.
released, but nothing that was like big first-party. No Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Oh man.
No Metroid Prime 4.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
if that was leaked, I think people would have been
See,
like partially would have been excited, but
I
also
almost
mad.
right, and I almost feel like no one would have believed him.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, that's not
That's
true.
not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I was making the joke, right? And logically, I was like, well, this has to be one of the last Nintendo Directs they make, so they have to release it, right? But at the
Right,
same
yeah.
time, I'm like, well, we've waited this long, so I can't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's still kind of crazy that games go though.
Yeah.
Like I watched the trailer a few times that day. I'm just like, man, they're actually just making another Metroid. It's great timing for me too because
You're playing Metroid.
well the goal because originally I'm like, well, okay, I've never finished a Metroid game, but I'm gonna wait till Prime 4 and finally things are lining up. I'm gonna finish Zelda games this
Yeah.
year. And then as soon as that's done, boom, start Metroid.
There you go.
Which I'm super excited about because I remember I played a little bit of Metroid Fusion. Really liked that a lot. I just never got around to finishing it. And then I actually played Prime Hunters on the DS when I was a kid. Never finished that either. And that's pretty much it. I really played the other ones. So, have you played Metroid games?
I played because I used to own, and the only reason I don't anymore is because when we got my cousin GameCube, I basically gave him my copy of Prime. Just because I mean, I was young and it wasn't really my style. Kind of regret that a little bit now.
Oh, yeah.
I play a little bit with the GameCube.
Okay.
And so like, actually I do have, I do own Other M and I think the trilogy on Wii, but I still haven't touched them. And it's because like when I played a little bit with first one, I'm like, again I was young. I'm like, this kind of doesn't seem like my kind of game.
Right, yeah.
Now I'm like, man, I really wish I held on to that so that I could. I mean, I can still play it, but you know,
There's plenty of ways to play it
Yeah.
still. Yeah. I need to get the remaster.
Yeah.
I have it. And I like messed around with it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh man, I cannot wait to actually play this.
Right, and that's kind of how I feel too. Because like I feel like I would have felt that way with Zelda too, for example. And now I look at it and it's just like, man, I really want to play these games. I wouldn't have wanted to back then, but now I really do.
Yeah. I mean, it's refreshing because you know, I spent like half of my 20s only playing Mario games.
Right.
And now I'm finally in a position where I can, you know, play other IPs. Like last year we did all the Kirby's, all the Yoshi games, and then all the Sonic games. So now we're doing the Zelda games. And while it is kind of exhausting because the games are so long, it's also just like, yeah, this is really nice. It's like people have been talking about forever just how good these Zelda games are.
You understand it a lot more now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's, I want to be like that with Metroid because like it's such a meme where it's like Nintendo YouTubers don't play Metroid games. I want to be the one guy that's actually played all the Metroid games.
That's really what I was going to talk about when you brought up Metroid. That like, I find it so fascinating, and I guess to veer the conversation a little bit, I find it so fascinating how certain IPs just lend themselves to content and others don't.
Yeah, no one does Metroid. It's just not a thing.
And like I'm sure that if you look at certain Metroid videos online or whatever, you'll find like, oh, here's a playthrough of other M that has like 1 million people or whatever. It's just like, wow, that's
Although it's probably like the game.
right. And it's just like it's 1 million views that are accumulated over the years, but
Right.
no one that like dedicates their life to or their career to covering Metroid games.
Yeah, you can't be a Metroid tuber. That's just not gonna happen.
And it's just it's kind of weird because it's like
Kind of like that Zelda too. You know, Zelda. There are not many. Like there's a couple. There's Celtic.
yeah.
There's Celtic. I think that's it. That's or any other like big Zelda. No wait, no. Austin John is like, but he does do something. He does.
Right.
He's like a walking channel.
But I think that when it comes to personalities like that, it's not so much the content but the creator. So like people are
That's
watching
true, yeah.
Austin John not necessarily because of. I mean, it's a plus, I'm sure, but it's more so because of the person and not so much what they're covering.
Well, Austin is very, very charismatic.
Right.
Like, he just really holds himself super well with his videos. So even though like the videos are just like how to get all the starter Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, or it's like
Yeah.
things like that. It's the way that he puts the videos together, or like they're like really, really well done. They're actually helpful.
Yeah.
And he actually knows what he's talking about. So that's why people tune into him. When the new Pokemon come
Yeah.
out. And he does it for Zelda too. Like he actually, this is fun. When I was playing Breath of the Wild last year, I ended up watching quite a few of his videos because I was like confused on some things. Yeah, because there was like there was DLC in the first game. The first DLC had it. It was like the Master Sword Trials, and it's so damn hard. I just kept losing over and over again. I ended up watching one of his videos, and he basically had tips for like every floor. There's like 40 floors or something.
Oh wow.
And I never beat it, but I got a lot farther with his help, which was nice.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You said that. I'm trying to think of like a similar instance of something was really hard. I looked it up and then I didn't. It didn't make it any better. Oh, well, because I just finished doing the Freddy stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
Don't you struggle with one of those games like a lot?
Yes. So, oh god. So I went in order, and for reference, because I know you don't really know much about Five Nights. Basically nothing. So
Five Nights at Freddy's also too. I just tried it.
Dude, oh my god, holy. So I thought about that when we were talking about doing this, because you have a VR2. And I know. But like in my mind, I'm just thinking like that would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
We were just like trying to be as quiet as possible, and then just a jump scare happens and Nathan screams.
Oh gosh, poor John would have to like lower the volume every 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm kind of a baby with horror games. Like I'll play them a little more frequently now, but like not very much. I have like a really bad memory with a jump scare when I was younger.
Gotcha.
So
that's so interesting considering what I know about you in movies.
Yeah. Oh, I'll watch like stupid gory movies.
Yeah.
Because like that, it was weird when I was like 19 or 20. I just had this like idea of what if I just watch like the most raunchiest, worst movies of all time. And I was like, all right, let's watch Human Centipede. Let's watch. There was this like weird. I forgot what the movie was called, but basically like 10 people were put in this huge hole, and they had to live. Like whoever survived the longest won, or was allowed to leave. So it basically, by the end of the movie, everyone was like killing each other, and they were being cannibals, and it was super messed up.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah. So for whatever, I had like a weird phase for like
Yeah.
a year where I was like watching those kinds of movies. So those are fine.
But for some reason, games are just
Yeah, I
not
don't know,
okay.
dude. I tried to play Five Nights at Freddy's like
Did you?
a year ago, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it out. I was recording.
Yeah.
And after 5 minutes, I was like listening to music, like, no, can't do it. I just can't do it.
So for reference,
But yeah, what was the game you were stuck on?
so I believe what you're thinking about is a game called Ultimate Custom Night. So technically,
That
it
was
doesn't-
right.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't even have the Five Nights at Freddy's name on it. But so I guess to put it in context for you and for all your viewers who may not know what Five Nights at Freddy's, how it works or whatever.
Freddy scares you.
Yes, he sure does, along with his friends. And so, like, the first 4 games, Five Nights 1, 2, 3, and 4, I never actually. I played a little bit of them. I played a little bit of the first one, but I was in the same boat. Like I was terrified of it.
Which makes me, you know what makes me feel worse about that too?
What's that?
Is that like little kids play that game, and I can't freaking play the stupid.
Well, they were brought up on it though. They were
That's
MatPat's
true.
children.
That's true.
And,
yeah.
Because I remember, I thought the same thing. And you know what's okay? So I guess before I go on with this story, that made me think of another instance. So I have a cousin who's like 4-ish, maybe years younger than I am. Also super into games and like was kind of getting into Freddy's as well. And so I was like, oh dude, I have some of the games. Like, do you want to play them? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And we were playing the third or the fourth game. I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just so spooked. And so one of our other cousin's kids comes around, and they're like, I don't know, 12. We're teenagers at this point, and like our other cousin's kid comes up. Well, not even 12. They must have been younger than that. They you might not want to see this because this is pretty spooky. And they're like, oh, we watch. And I'm like, okay, all right. And so they're watching, and then we get jump scared, and we both jump, and they're like, what?
What was so scary?
Yeah, what was so scary about that? And we're like, you don't get it.
That's so crazy. I had kids don't find that scary.
I know.
We're such bitches.
Well, I think it's just because maybe we know that it's designed to be scary, whereas they're like, I don't understand what's so scary about a character just coming up and like, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, you don't understand.
Yeah. Well, thing is, I think I could probably play the games, but I would need to like get used to it first.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
I would just need to get over the first couple of jump scares, and I'd be fine.
You know how Zardy's is, where it's just like you do it over and over, you put like you kind of get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like the first few times you're doing it, you're like super stressed out. You're super like, oh god, please do
Yeah,
something
exactly.
jump scare me. And then like when you fail over and over again, you're just like, okay, this is a challenge more.
Yeah, I tried to get to that point when I was playing, like, nah, I can't right now. Yeah.
So like I never, because again, I didn't want to subject myself to that. So when I did the video on the first 5 games,
You just watch playthroughs.
I just downloaded playthroughs. Because I was not gonna. I didn't know how long it would take. Like I was already bad at them. Like I don't want to do this over and over again. I get frustrated really easily.
You just want to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. And so the first game that I recorded in the series was a VR game that came out. So
You played a VR one?
no, it's long enough because this was before I even had a VR headset. So they developed a flat mode for this, and it's basically like a recreation of the first 4 games.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's really it has like extra mini games that are original. It's really cool. And for some reason, it's just not as scary to me. Like the way that they developed it.
That's crazy.
But I hadn't played through all of the rest of the series yet, so I'm like, I can't really put this or make a video on this game because I haven't done the rest of the game of the series.
Makes sense.
So I put out the video on Security Breach. It does gangbusters. Like it does a
Security Breach was huge. It was huge. Like, that was the game that made me kind of, like, regret not switching to before like everyone else did in my friend group. Because, like, the only people that didn't switch was, like, me and Nico, and everyone else was
right. And the only reason I did it was because I noticed how well it was doing, and I was covering Pokemon at the time.
I remember that, yeah.
And that was not doing well. And I was like, you know what? Okay, everyone's talking about Security Breach right now, how awful it is. I'm gonna cover it and see like what I can extrapolate from it. And people loved it. I still think it's a funny video. But that sort of encouraged me, like at some point last year, to be like, well, you know,
might as well do all the games.
Yeah, I might as well do the rest of them. Like man up, try to do the other ones. Dude, it got to the point where like there was a script I revealed without even knowing. So the 6th game, was one that I'm like, there's no way, because I actually tried to play and beat that game, and like, I couldn't sleep the first night. I'm like, there's no way on earth I'm ever beating it.
And this is Ultimate Custom mode?
Yeah, so Ultimate Custom is the 7th game in the series. And so it's basically like every enemy in the game, or in the series so far, you have to face up against all of them.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
sounds really time consuming.
Yup, it is. And the worst part is like they all have their own like mechanic, and there are challenges to it. So like challenge 1, you only have to face against however many of the enemies. And something that happens, so each game has a custom night. And what a custom night is like you can alter the AI level of the animatronics.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Freddy is level 1, so he's not going to be very active throughout the night. Whereas like this other character is level 20, like that's the highest it goes. And so it's just like they're going to appear at your door like every 2 seconds. So Ultimate Custom Night is like multiple different challenges where it's like at some point, here's how many characters you're going to fight. Their AI levels are all different. And so the one challenge that I couldn't beat was what they call 50-20, which is literally all the characters at the same time on the highest difficulty.
Wait, why did you have to? Was it like a requirement?
So, kind of yes.
Okay.
It's very confusing because like I've heard people say different things where it's just like, oh, you don't need to do all of them. You can like do 49 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's night and day difference between 49 and 50. But the reason it's really fun is because there's a special cutscene that happened at the end, and I'm just like, I kind of want to talk about this cutscene.
Okay.
But
yeah.
like I need to capture it, and like the problem, especially with Five Nights at Freddy's, is because it's such reaction content. It's hard to find playthroughs of it without commentary, and so it's just like, well,
Five Nights at Freddy's especially.
I have no choice but to just record this myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. Like I struggled, but like I found a bot basically that can play it for me. And like honestly, this will work. This will work because I don't have to prove myself. I beat like 99% of this game.
Yeah, exactly. Dang, yeah. I would probably not be able to beat it either. So I'm just not very like Zard. Dude, I never beat Zardy's Maze, and like that game is hard, but like literally all you guys beat it. We were playing it on Minus World, and I just couldn't beat it. I'm so bad at those. I'm so bad at those kind of games.
Like the challenge, do it over and over again thing.
Yeah, I'm just not good at it. It's like, yeah, I can learn the patterns and stuff, but
Right.
my reaction time is not. And actually, I have pretty good reaction time.
Well,
like,
no.
I just didn't grow up with those.
Right, and I think it really is just a matter of personality too. Because like there are some people that learn those games super quick. There's a dude
Yeah, that's
that,
not. Give me a platformer.
right, exactly. And like there's a dude that I've started watching recently. He's very funny, but like a lot of what he does is just challenge videos. And his most popular stuff are like Five Nights at Freddy's challenge videos, where he
This
just
is Astro Stiff.
no. So like Spiff was like a gateway to this other channel. He's like up and
Okay.
coming, and he streamed that challenge that I was telling you about, the 50-20 thing.
Yeah.
2 days in a row. And it's just, I don't know how his brain works, that he's just like, this character has a 0.6 possibility of doing this at this time. This character has a blah blah blah, and it's just like, Jesus, like that's how they're able to beat it so efficiently. It's just they're a human calculator. Like they have it in their brain what the odds are, when things are gonna happen. It's just like I can't imagine
That's crazy.
doing that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you would have had to spend like a lot of time playing.
That's true too.
I think that's
yeah.
probably the main thing. Because, like, we're trying to get videos out, somewhat frequently at this point. So we don't have a lot of time necessarily to, like, learn a game and, like, really
Exactly.
play it a lot. So, I mean, I imagine that guy probably plays the game
a
pretty
lot,
often.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's just, like, he just knows. He just knows
Yeah.
it.
Meanwhile, like with us and platformers, it's just like, well, I don't really need to learn any patterns per se. It's just
Yeah,
react to whatever's happening on screen, and that's fine.
yeah, pretty much. Dude, you know what's crazy? So for a video, actually, I think it's going to go up on the main channel by the time this is up. So I can talk about it. I ranked all the moons in Super Mario Odyssey.
All of them?
All 836.
Oh my god.
And at first I was like, oh god, this is not going to be fun because it's so many
So
moons.
many, yeah.
But I was shocked because it was genuinely just as fun 100% as it was the first time I played it.
Really, that's good.
Yeah, because like I've tried to replay that game a few times, and every time after beating the game, I'm like, well, I'm done.
Right.
I want to play it, but since I had like a goal of going for all the moons, I don't know what it was, but something about that was just really, really satisfying
I
and
think
fun
it
to
might
do.
be the completionist aspect of it, because I think that when the game
Yeah, that's true.
first came out, it was very daunting. Like,
Yeah.
where it's just like,
It's still
dude,
daunting,
what
dude.
the
It takes
hell?
so long. It took me like 50 hours. It takes so goddamn long.
Because that's the thing, is that like with 64 Sunshine Galaxy, it's just like, okay, you have a set number that, you know, yeah, it'll take you a while, but at least you can, and not to say that Odyssey doesn't, but it's just like, it's so monumental in comparison, where you're just like,
It's
dude,
just
when
so
is this
big.
gonna end?
Yeah, it's very interesting when you're trying to rank the moons in that game, because ranking them is a completely different experience to actually playing.
Sure.
Because, you know, like imagine trying to write, you know, what it's like to do all of those moons. I mean, it's incredibly challenging, because it's like, okay, this moon's floating in the air, this one's floating in the air, this one
Right.
you ground pound, this one you hat spin, this one you hat
This
spin.
one is floating in the air.
It's like the world's most basic ideas ever. So when I'm
Yeah.
writing about it, it sounds like I hate half of the game.
Right.
But it's just, when you're actually playing it, it's totally different. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is all
Got
that's
it,
really
got it,
happening.
got it,
Yeah,
got it,
you're just
yeah.
constantly getting rewarded. And it doesn't matter that the tasks are like so basic. It's the fact that everything happens so fast.
Right.
And you're just constantly getting, like I said, it's rewarded with all the moves. It's like, wow, that's why it was so fun. Like, damn, this is awesome.
No freezers? How unusual is this for a restaurant?
I think that that's unusual because a lot of restaurants have freezers. But we don't have freezers, we have fresh food every single day.
How fresh is fresh?
It's real food that's coming to our tables. That's what sets us apart.
Yeah, I don't know, I was just really surprised at how much I liked playing.
It's so interesting how perspective changes like that, because I do remember when the game first came out, like,
I mean, I loved it when it came out, but I always assumed that like years later, this game would suck 100%.
Sure.
It's not like
Yeah.
but no, it honestly didn't. Like, it was still great.
I haven't played honestly. It's been so
Oh, it was so much fun. It's you know what's really nice about that is, you know, every console generation, I always wonder, like, man, is this classic Nintendo game still gonna age well?
Sure, yeah.
And I was so pleasantly surprised. Like, yes, Mario Odyssey has aged remarkably
It is
well.
still a fantastic video game. Thank
Yeah.
you for asking.
Now, I will say, I do still hope that the next 3D Mario does not have 800 moves.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
Because, like objectively speaking, it could have had like 400 and still be just as fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think it needed that many. Like, I would have preferred, instead of focusing on some of the, make some of the kingdoms a bit bigger. Because, like, Cloud and Moon Kingdom, it's literally like nothing. There's virtually nothing there.
Yeah.
Even, like the lake fight or whatever. Yeah, they got a boss fight, and then that's pretty much it. Or, like, Lake Kingdom is pretty small. Lost Kingdom really isn't that big either. And it was interesting because, like, the biggest kingdoms had the most varied moves. So
That makes
everything in Cascade, especially Metro Kingdom, New Donk City, oh my
Yeah.
god. Like, I kind of forgot how many just really unique, clever moves there were. Like, my favorite one was the bench guy. You just sit on a bench, as the guy's going, and it's like, oh, you stand next to me, here's my move. Like, now that's just great.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Dude, I remember, like, this must have been like a couple of months after the game came out. Like, everybody was speedrunning. Like, that was the first year I got into like the speedrunning. Like,
It's still, it's a fun game.
This game is beautiful to speedrun.
I remember when the game came out, I think I tweeted about it. Because I was like, I played for like a few hours, and I just knew that the game would get sped run and beat in less than an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Based on how good it was. And it was so funny because the response was like, no, that'll never happen. It'll take 3 hours to beat the game.
Dude, no.
Next thing you know, 3 years later, the first 59-minute time happens in that game. Now I think the record's like 58 minutes. But it's so cool because of like how much freedom you have with how you can take rooms. I just knew, damn, people are gonna fly through this
Yeah.
game once they figure out the routes. It's gonna be so crazy. And the runs are so fun to watch. I really love watching Mario Odyssey runs.
Mario Odyssey is one of those games where like it feels really just I won't use this comparison, but like even at the time I knew like is it weird to say that this is one of the best Mario games? Because I feel like when a game is so
Maybe it might be. It's like in the top 10.
like when games are new, right? People are quick to make judgments one way or the other, where they're just like, this is the best one that's ever come out. People are like, well, you can't say that because you know it's so new, biased, whatever. It's like, yeah, I mean, both perspectives are kind of true.
It is that. I definitely have that problem. Like, for
Yeah, no, absolutely. I
It's, it's hard to not have that bias because so much of your bias is like, oh, this is a new thing.
Right,
I never
exactly.
experienced this before, and I had fun with it compared to the older thing.
And okay, so now that you know exactly how I feel,
Yeah.
the example of me is just Frontiers. Like Frontiers felt
I
exactly
still
like
think that game is still really good.
No, yeah, it's me too. It's like
Yeah, it was great. I can't believe how many people just thought the game was awful.
yeah, dude,
I'm like,
there are a
what?
lot of people who still believe that. But like, I almost feel like that is one of the most 50-50 Sonic games I think I've ever seen on the internet.
I don't understand
Where-
Sonic.
where it's like half.
do they not know that you can like change the speed of Sonic?
Right.
Like you can change his direct. Like there's so many settings.
My brother in Christ, you control the game.
Yes. And that's why, dude, I was like losing my mind. There was a video, I think it was from King K. You ever see like
yeah.
King K? And I really, really liked his videos a lot. But he did a video on Sonic Frontiers complaining about the controls. And I remember reading the comment, I'm like, bro, you can literally change the controls. And like we had like a little bit of a back and forth.
Sure.
Maybe it feels like about Sonic Colors Ultimate. That game got crapped on a lot too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's honestly not even that bad.
it's not. Like, okay, yes, parts of it don't look as good as the Wii version.
Right.
Like,
And it
It's
is
fine.
glitchier than the.
I guess the Switch one was glitchier, sure.
Okay, I honestly didn't even try like the other versions, but even then, like the Switch version didn't glitch out on me that much when I played it. Like there were a
Yeah.
couple ones that sure wouldn't have happened in the Wii version, but it wasn't anything that I'm like, oh, this game is the worst. I hate it.
Yeah, it's those people are like super nitpicky about Sonic games in particular.
And I remember
It's like it's so hard for me to like take what they're saying seriously
Right.
half the time. 'Cause it's like, bro, you're complaining about like one shadow or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like remember when the DLC was coming out for this game, people were complaining
Oh my
about
God,
like
the
the
graphics.
grass, which honestly, to be fair, either
it's
true.
not as good as
Not look as nice,
as the
but
base game, but like at the same time, are you really gonna judge how fun a game is based on what it looks like? It doesn't. That doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me.
like yeah, I mean it objectively does look worse.
Right.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean it's a worse. Like the courses themselves are bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, for me, like, I'm such a gameplay driven,
Sure.
like, player. I mean, I barely care about story in games. Graphics are nice, of course, but it's not like a huge priority. It's all about how the game feels to play.
Right. Of course. That's why, like, I think animation is so important in video games, and like I'm a lot
It
more
is.
nitpicky
Yeah.
when it comes to that now. More than, and you know me, I'm a very like graphic oriented guy, but it's just like dude, a game could be ugly as heck, but if it's fun to play,
looks
I don't
nice.
care. Like,
There's a really great example of that on the N64 called Rocket Robot on Wheels. And no one's ever heard of the game, but it's a 3D platformer. You play as a robot on wheels, as you would expect.
Yes.
And it's just like a basic game. You just go around collecting stuff, things like that. But like the way the character moves is unbelievably fluid. Like
Okay.
more fluid than Mario 64.
No way, really.
Like it is probably one of the most fluid platformers I've ever played.
Interesting. No,
It's
I'm-
crazy, and it's all comes down to the way that character was animated. It
Yeah.
just looks so nice. Because yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, story does matter in games. Graphics do matter, but it's not top priority.
Tetris said something that like, oh my god, this is like one of the best quotes I think I've ever heard, because he was looking at the Funko Pop game that they're releasing,
Oh yes,
and he said, he was like, oh, these graphics don't look great, and I mean, graphics aren't everything, but they're not nothing either. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so true.
that is very true. No, I mean, I actually, that's another, I mean, graphics are obviously important, like, don't get me wrong.
It's nice that a game looks nice, but that's
Yes.
not indicative of, like, if it's a good game or not. But
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So, it's kind of, it's interesting, because, like, since there's so many people making games now, graphics are kind of more important than ever to help them stand out.
Sure, yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true.
so many games that we see in directs, or just like in showcases, we don't remember most of them unless they have
Something that makes
a
it stand out.
really, yeah, and that comes down to what we're visually seeing,
Yeah.
is the graphics. Like, Plucky Squire, look at that game. That game, oh, I've never seen anything like it. Oh my god, it looks amazing.
There's a game coming out called Neo. It's the like side
Yes, the
scrolling
video game looks sick.
And like the only reason I remember is because it looked like visually it's really really cool. It looks hand drawn and then it's very very pretty.
And it looks nicely animated
Yeah,
too.
and it's just like, will I play it? I mean, maybe. I
You know
don't
what
know,
else?
but
Pizza Tower.
Pizza Tower is a
Game-
fantastic example of it.
That game is quite literally Microsoft Paint graphics. And people
Yes.
love it because of how well done the animations are
Exactly.
and how well Pepino's, I think it's his name, right? Yeah, how well like he's expressed
Yes.
when he's like running around and stopping and stuff.
It's so funny because like when you guys started playing that, I'm like, oh god, this game's so ugly. What are people seeing it? And then we played it for the night. I think
It's all about levels.
I think I get it now.
Yeah.
I think I get why people like this game.
Yeah, and it's a simple art style. That's something that I find super interesting. The most popular games have the most simple art style.
Yeah,
Like they
they're
really
very, they're very easy to remember.
Yeah, Minecraft, Among Us.
Honestly, you know what I think it is also to an extent is, and I don't literally think that this is why they're so popular, but I think that it has a hand in it is how easy it is for kids or other people to draw those characters too.
That's true. Yeah.
Because like the examples you just said, like those are things that a child can draw.
Yeah.
And so
Among Us is really just a beat.
Yeah.
Like an idol.
And it's just stuff that people like remember because they're so simple.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the reasons Sonic got so popular too, is because like he has a form that's just like, oh, that's a very simple design. Yeah, it's very fun to draw.
Mario's just a chunky little dude.
Yeah, he's just a chunky little dude with a hat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such an interesting character because it's like I think about how weird Mario was, and I wonder if he'd be successful today. And I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know if he'd be successful. He didn't exist in the
That's the thing. Oh my god, I've had this discussion so many times when it comes to Adventure 2, right? Because I get it. There are still kids who play Adventure 2 today, and they're like, oh my god, Adventure 2 is fantastic. It's like, dude, if this game came out today, like if this was a new Sonic game, you would hate this game. You would absolutely despise Adventure 2. And I say this with all the love I have for this game in my heart.
Yeah, that's probably that might still be my favorite song.
It's up there for me.
It's probably like number one or number two. I think I like Mania more.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
God, Mania is just perfect. Like literally the only problem with that game is that they reused
Too many stages, yeah.
But it's like even then, God, like they went so out of their way to not only reference older material but use it in such smart ways in the
Well,
levels.
here's the thing too. I've had this thought, and it's just like, okay, they're reused for us, right? Like if you never played a Sonic game before,
It won't even see
it won't even matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because all of it is. I'm so bad at the second because I'm so good at the stage, and I fell behind for like that last lap.
You caught up with her. Yeah, I'm like not even paying tracks.
I think I do better when I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. This is something I didn't realize about myself until I started doing the marathon videos more. Where I realized like when I'm like stuck somewhere, there's been so many times I'm like stuck in a level. Like recently, I was trying to do a secret boss in Splatoon 2. I lost for like 2 hours straight. It was so mad. And the only thing that generally helps me focus is when I turn on music and don't pay attention to the game.
Interesting.
So I think just like I think there's a such thing as focusing too much. Like just letting muscle memory do its thing, because muscle memory will not kill. Like that's just how our brains work.
Also, it's so funny. I think this is a very interesting thing when it comes, and I don't see anybody talk about it, but I think this is an excellent forum to do so. People, especially online, you know, I think we see it a lot less because Let's Plays have sort of not fallen out of favor, but they're just not as popular as they used to be. But back when they were, you know, people would give other creators just so much crap about like how poorly they performed at a game.
Yeah, there's a lot of like streamers curse and people just not playing games that much.
Right, but here's the thing. I think that as someone who has done a lot of streaming, and particularly for stuff like the Sonic Marathon, it's playing a game on your own and devoting your full attention to it versus dividing that attention to engage with a chat or an audience.
Totally different experiences.
Totally different things.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, how did you not know like that this was here? It's like, dude,
Because I was reading your chat.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be funny. Like
I was trying to pay attention to you.
yeah, exactly. And it's just like if I were, you know, if I could just take my time and like play this game maybe how it was intended, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have made this dumb mistake.
Yeah.
But
that's why I don't stream games very often. Like, you know, people ask like, why don't you stream that much? Like, well, that's why.
Yeah.
I can't devote my full attention to what I'm doing.
Right.
So, and it's like, there's been so many times, because I've been, like I said earlier, I've been trying to get through all the Zelda games.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it would be kind of fun to stream them, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not familiar with these games. I don't want to make stupid mistakes and waste time.
Right,
reading
yeah,
chat.
I get that.
And again, like, I love the idea of doing it, 'cause I don't hate streaming, but like, I really want to just get through the games, because there's so many of them. And I want to really be able to like envelop my thoughts more properly than like half paying attention to chat while just like kind of mindlessly going through the game.
And that was something that I noticed just a lot when doing that. Because I've seen a lot of people.
That probably happened a lot with your Sonic.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that like there is a trade-off, and I think that it's better when people do understand that, where it's just like, okay, this person's doing something really stupid, but at least it was funny. In turn, there are other people who get like super mad because it's like, oh my god, how are you so bad at this game? It's so obvious what you're supposed to do. It's like, well, yes, but I'm also trying to entertain like 200 people or whatever.
Yeah. Well, thankfully that's what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Most people don't really care. They're just listening. I mean, that's what I would usually do. When we were doing all the streams, I would usually just hop in to listen for a little bit, and then that was pretty much it. Oh, Mute City. Hell, finally getting to like the exciting tracks. If you're asleep right now,
You gotta wake up.
leave a like.
Leave a like, subscribe.
I'm gonna subliminally tell you to subscribe. if my
Use
video-
your nose.
Use your nose.
What an interesting genre. Just falling asleep to video.
It's a weird. I would say it's a meta, but like at
Yeah.
the same time, I've been falling asleep to YouTube videos for
Right,
like half of my
exactly.
life now. Like it's such a common thing, but it is weird that we're like making a video specifically for people to sleep, not
Yeah.
even just like our usual stuff. No, it's kind of nice because it just kind of feels like we're just winding down.
Exactly. We're just chilling out.
Yeah, basically.
One thing that I mentioned to you and my wife was that it's gonna be cool because I don't have to. And it's funny because I don't feel that way for Minus World. I don't feel like I have to play up anything. I'm just my regular self. But I think that there is subconsciously something where I'm like, okay, you know, you're recording. You got to be funny.
You have to act a certain way.
Yeah. And for this, I'm just like, this is also who I am. But when I'm not like animated all the time.
Yeah, we're just not being animated. Exactly. Dude, it's crazy that like Caddy somehow managed to do a sleeping channel because he's such an animated character. Well, not him as a person, but like his channel, like holy crap. It must whoever was doing the edits for that and like cutting out all this like yells
Screaming,
and stuff.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, that must have taken so long.
I remember when I found out that he was doing one of those.
Like,
I'm
he started the whole thing.
How on earth do you do that? You specifically.
That just cracks me
You're
up. Just the
screaming
idea of
all the
that.
time.
It's like the last person. It's just so goofy.
I've been doing a thing with shorts recently, where I just repurpose all. Okay, I say I repurpose, and to an extent that's true. But like, I'll take moments from older videos and recreate them. Like, not even just take the clip, but just like, okay, what was this moment?
I saw it with the toaster thing.
Yeah. And so I've been doing that with like other moments from Everything Wrong With Two. It's astonishing to me how many people are surprised that I'm doing that. Because I guess they would just assume that I would just repost the clip.
That's what most people do.
Instead of like redoing the whole thing. But what I think is interesting about that is that when you mentioned the Sleepy Channel to me, I'm just like, dude, I could totally do that. Just like re-record the script.
Well,
but,
no,
like,
don't do that.
Do
Don't
it
do
quiet.
that. If you're gonna do the Sleep Channel thing, please, for the love of God, do not do that.
It'd be funny.
Please don't. I'm begging you, dude. You will never release a new channel video ever again.
That's true.
It'll take you so long to redo all those videos.
I was looking for a clip from the Sonic 06 Everything Wrong With It, because I thought I still had the project file. And it was the very last scene where I'm talking about how long all the cutscenes, all the loading screens are. All the loading screens are. And I'm like, okay, I'll just like grab the footage from. I'll just copy this from the project file. Only to find out that I got rid of the project file. Oh no! If I want to recreate this, that means I have to go through every single playthrough again. No, I have the recorded playthrough. I just have to go through each and every single loading screen from my footage again. I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. That'll take way too long. I can't believe they put 80 people each of us. It's like, oh, they did it to spite me. The whole thing with Peach thing is so funny to me now. Because like people will ask, why aren't you mad about people teaching this game for this game? And it's the reason it's like that is because no one remembers the context.
Yeah.
Like, why that's the case. Like the original context was the Mario Kart 8 roster back in like 2013 and 2014 was actually garbage. And then when the last trailers they did for the game came out revealed Metal Mario and Purple Peach were like, what the hell? Where's all the good characters? Where's Birdo? And like
characters that are actually in this game.
Yeah, Kiru and Emerald, like none of those characters were in the original game. And that's why I was upset about it.
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
And now it's like, well, now I'm like, who cares? You know, all the characters are like, have stupid characters now. Add your mods Luigi.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Dude, I'm gonna laugh at every new Pokemon Luigi. Like, yes, I hate.
I've willed him into existence.
Yes, I mean Arlo willed all of his favorite games into existence. Let's make
Why can't I?
Okay, like I don't know how much you follow Arlo, but literally every game that he wanted on the Switch, Pikmin 4, Pikmin 4, Prime 4, Super Mario 1000 Year remake, support, full remake. What else? There's like a couple other ones. Like literally all is Arlo. Yes, he works there.
That would be the closest thing we could do to play Luigi Luigi.
Oh yes. That's not that long.
It's not that long, but like I do it every hour. I just like to imagine that like we're trying to be chill as possible and we just scream.
I actually watched a stream of that yesterday.
Oh really? Yeah. What do they have it at now? Because I know it's already pretty short.
100% run is at an hour 6 minutes.
Wow, that still is incredibly short.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't, because the reason I was watching, I'm trying to learn the game to be better for upcoming marathon. I basically spoiled what it is. I am doing the League expansion later this year. So,
that's impossible. Say it ain't soon.
Oh, I'm not excited to be a League. It's going to be 100 hours. That's pretty cool.
100 hours?
Yeah,
So,
so, well, of all three of the games.
Oh.
plus 3 weeks. So basically 5 games in 100 hours.
Oh my god.
And I think it's possible, but I need to play Luigi's Mansion 1, both versions, really fast. Because Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3 are just long games, and you can't really speed them up.
Right.
So I need to at least kind of learn the routing of the first game to be able to do second and third.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not hard.
It doesn't look that bad. I'm just not that familiar with games.
Oh, I gotcha. Did I ever tell you why I got rid of that game when I was a kid?
Did it scare you?
No. Well, honestly, surprisingly no. Because I was scared of anything. It did kind of creep me out every now and then, but like it was a creep out that I could handle, and I think that's maybe why I liked it so much. But the reason I like traded it in when I was a kid, stupidly, was because I found myself beating it over and over and over again, to the point that I was like getting really optimized with it, and I could like beat the game in 3 hours. I'm like,
Yeah, that sounds like my friend Jacob has played that game so many times.
and I'm just like, I don't know that I should own this anymore.
You just beat it too many times.
Yeah.
I should get rid of Mario 64. I played it too many times.
I mean,
Get
that
rid of Resident Evil 4.
right. Like back when you were a kid, I don't know. I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess the philosophy would be like, why do I own this?
Yeah,
Why do
I've
own this?
already played it so many times, but like like now, I'm just like, God, that's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense as a kid though,
Yeah.
because you don't really think about to when you're like a lot older and you're like,
Right.
dang, I'm actually like nostalgic for these games. I'd
Well-
love to have, copies still.
Well, and the funny thing is, it's like it wasn't even that I beat it so many times; it was that I was beating it so fast.
This is too fast. I'm too good at this game. You need to get rid of this.
That's
really funny.
Adventure 2, I think like it still takes me like 10 hours.
Now, if you beat that game in 3 hours, you'd be self-mad.
Yeah.
Stupid game. Dude, speaking of Adventure 2, I did not realize how much people vehemently hate Adventure Director's Cut.
Yeah,
Until we did the video with it. People were like, why did you play that version? I'm like,
because it's
that's all we had.
fine?
Well, that's all we had to do.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I did go ahead and update all the mods and stuff. So
Yeah.
if we ever go back and do that, we shouldn't have issues.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
No, dude, it's because for a while I like put off watching this video, but there is a video, and it's probably showed up on your recommended many times.
Is it the one from who's that one guy? The guy that does like the very spontaneous Sonic videos. Cybershell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, that video of why Adventure DX is a bad remake or
Yes.
something. I have not seen it yet.
I finally watched it like a couple months ago, I think, and I'm just like, okay, I kind of get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I still don't hate Adventure DX, but I do understand why people would be upset with it. And I'm trying to think of like what the closest example I could give you is. Like, imagine if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if all the stages looked like the DLC booster course packs.
That would be sad.
Right?
Oh, so it just looks a lot worse.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of the things that they did to sort of make the game better just kind of ended up breaking a lot of things. Because it's a conversion from like, I'm trying to remember how accurate this is. I think it was like, so the PC version was like a port of the Dreamcast version, and so already from that moment, like a lot of stuff is gonna break.
Yeah.
So imagine when the GameCube version is a port of the PC version, which is a port of the Dreamcast version. So it's like extra things are crashing.
Their ports are gonna break.
Yeah, shaders are all messed up. Textures are changed for no reason. There's just like a lot of really niche details that you wouldn't even pay attention to if you weren't looking at them side by side. So I grew up with the DX version too, and I'm like, this looks fine to me. I don't know what people are complaining about. But when you see it side by side, you're like, oh yeah, no, the Dreamcast version looks a lot better.
I've never even seen the Dreamcast version.
It's
like I played it on PC.
Yeah.
That's about it. I've not played the other versions.
And like same with Adventure. Adventure 2 kind of has the same thing where it's just like the battle version kind of messes some things up because it's not a Dreamcast. So.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why famously like the audio is messed up for Adventure 2 Battle. And the reason for it is because they were using like a proprietary thing for the Dreamcast, for the sound mixing.
Oh, like why it's so loud.
Right. And so like what they
Dude,
did,
they've never gotten the sound right.
no, they never have. And like what they did, and this is so annoying. What they did for Adventure 2 Battle is they literally just like they copied and pasted. They made no adjustments. They did nothing. Like, they were just like, okay, if it works on Dreamcast, it'll work on the NG. And it's like, well, no, now everything's broken. And you can't hear the characters half the time.
Jesus, yeah. Dude, I was playing, like, when I was doing the Sonic ranking video, I think it was Secret Lanes, and I was like, how is the audio still so loud? This game is like way older than the Adventure games. I think Sonic 06 had that problem as well.
Every now and then. It wasn't as bad.
Yeah. I just, like, how did they never get the sound mixing right? That baffled me. I never understood that. It's just so bizarre. It's so bad.
There's some people that say like, oh man, Secret Instruments, yeah, it's not good. Like, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I consider a lot of recently? Because in 06 is their favorite. I'm like, that is absurd to me.
Okay, you know, I have a hot take. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Project 06 did not fit Sonic 06.
Really?
No. Like, yes, the controls are better to an extent, but there are parts of that game that are still so awful and difficult to play.
Fair.
That's because, like, I'm going to give this a shot, and it was obviously better, for sure. But, like, it was not like, oh, yeah, this is a good game now. No, it's not. I'm sorry.
No, I kind of agree.
Did you? I think you should.
I did. And like, my reaction to it was like, oh my god, this feels.
Controls are better.
But I think you're right in that it is, much in like how Sticker Star is, the problem is a fundamental design issue and not like, you know, oh, by fixing the controls you don't fix the game. It's
the stages aren't.
They're not
the
designed
stages,
well.
yeah, like a lot of them are like really confusing. It doesn't make sense where you're supposed to go half the time. Or they're like way too long.
Yeah, sometimes they're like way too big too. Like,
yeah. Like there's like that entire game can just get completely revolved for it to be fun. Like the idea is there. I think there's still a very strong idea of having all those hedgehogs in and kind of like play all the stories. And it is really cool how there's so many playable characters too. Like hop in, like no.
Bushlight and Jacklings, always good together.
Yeah, I think if they like they don't need to produce so many stages to like really make the game good. I mean, yeah, it's not all bad, but there was definitely a part where it's like, man, this sucks. That great of a game.
no, I agree.
But it is very cool that like one person who has literally played the game, never played the game, feels like, all right, I'm gonna fix this game. And I think he probably did the best that he could with what he was given. Because like he was surprised that he just never played the game. He's like, all right, I'll do it. That's just insane. The cows. Oh, I love them. New Orleans is so much fun. I still think Blue Farm is a better stage, but Blue Lemons is good.
I was sure.
Yeah. Everyone said the stage is better, and it probably is, but I think Blue Farm more. That's fair. They should remake it for next Mario Kart. Remake Blue Farm. Oh, it's all. Yeah, why do we both just notice it looking at us?
Oh my god. Slow down.
Let me relax. I'm definitely going to get to that. Why you want that baconator?
Oh man, none of these really just thought of Sticker Star.
Speaking of that game, now, okay, I feel like that game could actually be fixed if they just completely altered the combat.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think get rid of the things too. Get rid of those completely and then just have regular
Dude,
battles.
I said it during my video that like I had more fun in the 6 hours that I was 100% than the 14 required hours.
Yeah.
The rest of it. like as a platformer, just like a collectible, and it's like, wow, this is actually kind of fun and very enjoyable. But like the second I have to do the main fighting thing,
It's the fighting that ruins it.
it's so awful. And like Color Splash is the same thing.
I think Color Splash is worse.
I think Color Splash is worse too.
Like, everything about the game is honestly amazing except for the
The
combat.
combat, yeah.
Like, they make the combat so bad that it's like, it makes me never want to touch the game.
The game is beautiful. The music is unforgettable. I
The
love
story.
the music. The story is
Oh my
very
God,
good.
The story's fantastic. Even though they're all just codes, it's still a
Right.
fantastic story.
But man, dude, I don't.
God, those cards, oh, Jesus.
It is so it is like way more inconvenient than the stickers. Just like
Yeah, because it takes so long.
it takes forever. It takes so long, and then there's what kills me more is that like there are different modes you can choose to play the combat part, and all of them suck.
Yep.
Like
None of them speed the game up.
No.
Well, no, there's the auto color, autofill. That one sped the game up like a
Kind of, yeah.
a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
Like you still have to do the stupid swiping motion thing. Like taking like 3 different screens, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we could. I don't know. Maybe that game is fixable. Origami King could be fixed if they didn't have the ring system.
I didn't mind the ring system that much.
I didn't mind it, but by the end of the game, I was like skipping enemies.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Have you had a chance to play Thousand Year Door Remake yet?
No, but I've seen it be good.
Dude, that game, holy crap. So much fun. So good.
I mean, it's just like the original, isn't it? Like in
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
So that
It's
makes
exactly the
sense.
same. Yep.
See, it's so funny about like Mario RPG and the Thousand Year Door Remake is that like, oh man, what did they change? Virtually nothing.
Nothing.
And that's what makes them so good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mario RPG, incredible. Like probably one of my top 10 favorite Mario games. Not Mario games, but like Switch games. RPG and Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
Like holy crap, they're so good. Like I was actually kind of sad when both of them ended. I'm like, oh
That's
no,
fair.
this was over. I was liking playing
That's
this.
how I feel about Thousand Year Door. I'm just like, man, that was fantastic, but also it's dumb.
I don't want it to end. Yeah.
I was surprised because like both Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door, I have not played, but Sarah has played, and so like I've been because I mean I've played them, so I know what they're like.
You've
but
already played them,
Yeah,
yeah.
she hasn't, and so like I'll watch her play it sometimes, and like I was surprised at how like weirdly nostalgic I was for Mario RPG because I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, did I? Yeah.
The first time I played through it was here.
It's
when I
like-
made the video on it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm nostalgic for that game either, because I didn't grow up with it. But like after playing it, I'm like, holy crap, this was such an amazing just RPG.
Remake, yeah. No, and I think that the reason that I'm weirdly nostalgic for it is because like I played games that were influenced by it. So like Thousand Year Door is one of my favorite games, and there's so much of Mario RPG in it.
Yeah, well, it was
It's
supposed
like-
to be. No,
yeah.
that was Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Paper Mario was the sequel to RPG.
And that's the thing. I think the reason why they decided to do Thousand Year Door instead of the first Paper Mario is because, and I didn't know this until I played the first Paper Mario. It and the Thousand Year Door are so similar in terms
They
of
are
like their
very
pacing,
similar.
their structure, and it's just like okay, Thousand Year Door is just a better version of
N64.
yeah, N64.
Like, plus, you can also play it on Switch Online.
Yeah,
So like, I feel like that's because I remember people really confused about that. I honestly think it's just
That's
because
why, yeah.
Nintendo was like, oh, but it's
you
already
can already
available.
play it.
Yeah. So I know that sounds weird, but I really think that was the reason why. And that's also why we got like Mario RPG remake and we don't have an
Yeah.
RPG on SNES.
Yeah.
So like the only games they've really have like doubled up on is like the 2D Mario games. So like
Mhm.
you know Mario All Stars and then like the NES games. What else? I guess.
Dude, I really
Mario 64. I
I
guess.
literally could not remember if we just done Mario Circuit.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I was
man.
like, which one?
that collection, 3D All Stars,
Yeah.
man.
It's still like it's not even a bad collection. It's just so underwhelming.
yeah.
Like one of the most underwhelming things Nintendo's ever done, I think.
It's just like, why didn't you give 64 the same treatment you gave Sunshine?
Yeah. You know what really blew my mind too is Thousand Year Door had like all this concept art Oh,
Does
like
it?
some of their it has like concept art of like Hooktail and like Flurry and stuff.
Oh, I love it even
I'm
more
like,
now.
Yeah, and even like for Yoshi, and Yoshi looked like so different.
That's so cool.
And I'm like, dude, imagine if they did this for like
Every
3D.
game.
Yeah, like even just like the remake games.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do it for your new games. I understand that. Like, don't do it for like Metroid Prime 4,
Sure.
even though that would be fascinating because the game
Yeah.
restarted development. But like even just like Mario RPG or the 3D All Stars collection.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
imagine seeing like early versions of like what Mario and Luigi look like in 3D.
Like give players a reason to like explore this version rather than play the original.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. Like even there's just so much love put into the Metroid remake.
What-
Just seeing all the
Is,
concept
what
art.
exactly? I mean, I don't think I really care about getting spoiled by it, but like, is there really anything different from the remake?
Yeah, there's some
Added,
stuff.
added stuff. Okay.
There are 2 secret bosses.
Oh.
There is a brand new recipe, and there's technically a new badge at the very, very end
yeah,
for
yeah.
100% of the game.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I knew about the Nintendo GameCube badge.
Oh yeah, there's one, I guess I would say 2 new badges. There's the GameCube badge, and there's another one very
Okay, cool. I'm very intrigued.
And it's really what's really cool about the new stuff added is it's not just like refights, like it's brand new bosses, but it's like bosses that people would have wanted to have included in the original game.
Interesting.
So like, do you remember Prince Muck from 2004? He was the guy that was like basically
Yes. Yeah.
the white man.
Really?
He's like so hard, so insane hard. Like literally the only way to get him is Super Mario. And it's
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
And then like there's another boss too. You fight him after beating Infinite Hunter Trials. And remember like the Wacka guy? The
Oh,
Wacka boss?
no
You
way.
fight a Wacka boss.
That's hilarious.
It's so goofy. Yeah.
I mean, like after you, spoilers, I guess, if you haven't played it, but like after you fight Bone Tail.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's hilarious.
It's awesome.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom, like Evan, who lost 50 pounds.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me to build better habits and build a healthier lifestyle.
Get started today and lose 15 pounds in 15 weeks.
Yeah, those were some of my favorite parts of the game. It's just like the new stuff, and it's like it's not even the fact that it's new; it's the fact that it caters to the old fans that remember the story. And the new recipe is literally a reference to a side quest, and it's like they didn't have to go that deep into like making a reference, but they did. They did it. This version's whatever, so the original is not better. I like getting hit over and over.
Yeah, it's impossible. Really, I love it.
We should have played Mario Kart 64. Maybe play that game.
Technically, this will probably be on like yearly Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. That's fine.
That's fine. I guess theoretically, if people are like sleeping to this, we could do all the Mario Kart.
We could.
Yeah, we could do that.
Especially the early ones.
Oh yeah, you know what? We're gonna have to play with 7, I guess, DS. But maybe not do that now. I just realized the truck has an iPhone on it. It does. It's bizarre. Yeah. I've never felt like that truck. It's slower, I think.
Oh.
But I decided to that time. Galaxy Air. And that's a big break.
That's what we're trying to do. Go to Mars.
Exactly. Oh, we'll get there eventually. I don't know if we will, but
Someone will.
I really hope we see that in our lifetime.
I think we might. I mean,
I think we have to. Because like, if we have the technology for it, we
Yeah.
get there. It's just so risky. And it's like, once you
will
know,
come back.
yeah, exactly. There's no way to come back. And how are you going to convince someone to never come back to Earth? Like,
Yeah.
Damn. You have to definitely. So dedicated.
Honestly, this is gonna sound messed up, but I'm just thinking of like, what if someone just had a touch which where it's just like, man, I just want to go. It's like, hey, You want to do something really cool before you get Let's go to Mars.
Let's go to Mars, baby.
Yeah, I think like the plan before we go to Mars is to have robots set up camp.
Oh yeah, honestly that makes sense.
Like that's because like we can't do that like, because considering like how far away it is. Yeah, it's just
bodies.
yeah, it does. It's bizarre.
I've noticed that. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like bizarre because I'm thinking of the eye still.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could set up camp, but I feel like it would be a lot safer actually to have a robot do it, because then you can like check it from far away, and if like anything goes wrong, then it's
Correct.
just a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how you're doing wrapped up?
I am.
Oh, snap.
Trapped up.
I guess you are. You wrapped it up.
Honestly, is Lucky Two a character in this? I can't remember.
Yes.
He is?
Okay. Yep.
Lackey.
Lackey.
I was like super surprised that that's how you pronounce his name.
I still say Lucky Two. I don't care.
Just like Phyllis the Dark.
What? The Phyllis?
Phyllis.
Talking about Phyllis? No, it's not Phyllis.
It's not Phyllis. But like, did you ever watch that? So there was a, I think it was a Sonic Central, which is like their Sonic.
Oh yeah, the Sonic. Yeah.
And for Sonic Forces Feed Battle, the mobile game, they revealed Knuckles was gonna be a character, and I guess the dude narrating it didn't know how to say his name, so it's just like, and featuring new character, Phyllis the Dark.
Oh my god.
And everyone was just dunking on it.
It's like people like call Mario Mario.
Mario.
I'm like, stop. You're saying it on purpose. And my favorite character is Mario. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Nintendo game ever. I guess Mario is a good Mario. I really like Mario. Stop saying it like that. No.
It's Mario. He says it himself.
And also, everyone that says Mario always address they say it that way, and they don't do anything about it. They're like, yes, I know no one likes me saying it like this, but I'm gonna keep calling it Mario. Like, stop.
I can't say it any other way.
I know, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 people that say it like that. I'm like, no, you gotta not do that.
You gotta not do that. Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Whee! Dude, me and Carl constantly say that. We just hear the Nico quiz. So, for those that don't know, we did a Nintendo Wii quiz on our group channel, and the idea, it was actually a really cool idea. Basically, you had to guess the Wii game based off of the little, like, intro bit or whatever.
Yeah, when you put the disc in and before you hit, like, play on the Wii channel.
Exactly, yeah. So, that was a really cool idea. The first game that comes up, and we can't see the visuals, of course. We only hear the audio. We hear Mario Kart, whee! So we're like, I wonder what game that is.
One.
And the next one was like Mario Galaxy 2. It was like he kept saying the name of the game for like 5
Oh my god!
things
were,
in a
were
row.
you there for the 3DS quiz?
No, I didn't get to go to that
So
one.
that one was like very similar. I try to remember what happened in it. No, Super Mario Brothers 2! Like, well,
Wow,
which one could it be?
Oh my god. But yeah, like, whenever we're talking about, like, Mario, I'm talking to Carl about Mario, one of us always says, Mario Kart, whee! Such a legendary quiz.
I really want someone to just, I mean, I guess technically out of context Minus World already does this, but just like to compile some of our best moments. Because, man.
That was like a top 10.
Yeah, that's a top 10.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
I can make it, I didn't make it.
Oh.
How you doing? You still awake?
I'm still awake.
Not you. That's not you.
Oh. The viewer.
Yeah,
the
you.
person, the listener to this video.
Are you still awake? Have you fallen asleep
If
yet?
you're not asleep yet, then Try harder.
Just focus your mind on, like, literally, not even the color white. Just focus on the concept of nothing. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, just zone us out.
Clear your
What we're
mind.
saying doesn't matter.
No. We're just playing a video game
Yep.
that features the funny red man.
Yeah, that's true. And he goes,
Battle.
option.
We made fun of it 1 year and we never stopped.
It's still great.
It's still very funny.
Dude, did you hear the Mario Day one from this year? The soundbite?
I think I did.
Oh yeah, Mario time. It was like Mario was like puberty. I'm like, Kevin, I'm so sorry. This was not a
This
good
was
take.
not a good take.
Like,
Yes, okay. I do remember that, and I thought I like maybe dreamed it up, or that like it wasn't.
That was so bad. It was like
Lazy to say.
I feel so bad because like Kevin has been doing a
He's
fantastic
doing a good job.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, whoever was putting together that video decided to use one of his bad takes. Like, I'm sure, so awful. Oh my god.
I gotta listen to it afterward.
It was the worst part. It was for Mario Day. I was so afraid of Mario. That's the first thing you hear from the celebration video. Oh yeah, Mario time.
I really hope you're asleep already, so you don't have to hear me.
They're like, half people are just gonna go back and watch that video after hearing that. I was like so confused the first time I heard that. I'm like, what the hell is this voice? I'm pretty sure it was Kevin.
No, but like I'm just imagining you saying like, man, who was it?
Yeah, I like just woke up. I was on my phone, like, oh yeah, it's Mario Day today. And I tried to open up the app. I'm like, what the hell is this voice? Like, you're not supposed to be that exciting. It was like, wow, they added Mario Golf on Game Boy Color. And Mario Tennis on Game Boy Color too. I don't know.
To Mario
Oh yeah, Mario time.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Good lord.
Oh.
I'm actually, you know what's be really cool about next Mario Party?
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Is I think it'll be the first time we hear Kevin's Waluigi voice because he hasn't played Waluigi yet.
Did he play Mario before?
He played Mario and Mario Bros. And I don't know how to feel about it. It's like super rough sounding. It's like, I don't know how else to it's like very deep, interesting.
Yeah, I will be the first one to hear as well, which is, it's so weird too, but like, you would think that they would just reuse Charles's voice clips, like you would think they'd have enough of them.
Yeah. Well, I also kind of respect Nintendo for like not doing that,
Fair,
and actually giving us like fresh material.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it is kind of surprising at the same time.
Like, Charles can't say Wowie Zowie. That's a Kevin thing.
Yeah. Wow, Zowie. Yeah, I mean, it's like stuff like that is like fantastic. Like, there's a lot of really good voice clips in Mario and Mario Wonder. And Luigi. And Luigi sounds great too.
Dude, I was honestly very impressed with the Mario and Luigi trailer. Like, how Kevin sounds. It's very good.
Like, he's so good that I don't even remember that it's not Charles.
Right, yeah.
Now, it really reminds me of, like, the 90s version of Charles. Like, when he was still, you know, a little bit younger.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, he was still kind of learning. And that's what it really reminds me of. It's like, oh yeah, this kind of reminds me of, like, a classic Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine kind of.
That's a crazy thing, too, is that, like, the dude's, like, what, 25 or something?
Yeah, oh my god, still, I think he started Mario before even Charles did, because Charles was, like, in his late 30s.
Yeah.
I think he was, like, middle-aged, I would say. He wasn't, like, that young. So that Kevin like playing Mario for like longer than we have. That's
crazy to me.
Yeah, he's already so good at it. Like, dude, imagine if in just a few years he perfected that voice. So, because I don't see Nintendo trying like different voice actors in a couple of years. Like that's not how they work. Like Mario's such an iconic voice.
I really think one person. Yeah, you found one person. You're like, okay, this is perfect. This is what we're gonna go with. Except for the obvious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious how he's gonna do Waluigi because we've never heard another. Like we've heard a few different Marios, we've heard a few different Luigi's technically.
Yeah.
But I think Waluigi's always
Never heard Charles. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Maybe there's like one weird game where Waluigi is played by someone else.
So.
Because I know, like in Mario Party, Mario's played by someone else. Mario Party 1.
Yeah, the first few. Yeah.
But I think Luigi's played by a couple different people in some of the older games as well. But yeah. No, guess we'll find out soon since it's coming out in October.
That is very weird that like they decided on the Mario voice, but like Luigi they decided that someone else should do the voice. Like not. I mean, it's weird now. Back
then,
I'm sure it wasn't weird at all because like there was a while there that Luigi was just a higher pitched Mario.
Yeah.
And that is not the case, even remotely anymore.
No. He just does it all. All dang, people did not do that good that race.
No.
This is good. Still thinking about, oh yeah, Mario time. 14-year-old Mario.
Oh my god.
Still learning how to
Dude, I want to see that. 14-year-old Mario? Mario Jr.?
It's just Mario, but he's skinnier. He has like a tiny muscle.